Let's talk about cheating. And by cheating, I don't mean aim hacks, trigger botting, or wall hacks necessarily. I mean an advanced Overwatch concept that really every character with mobility needs to know, and especially dive tanks with mobility. You see, if you've ever been a fan of any of my content, you might have watched the Overwatch 2 tank guide where we talk about focusing squishies, setting up on squishies, and so on. And I hope that you learned a lot from that guide, but I do think that it's important to not necessarily give a disclaimer, but give a reminder about what actually diving squishies and what it actually looks like to threaten kills in squishies. And by the way, this doesn't just apply to Winston. This applies to D.Va, this applies to Doomfist, and applies to a lot of other characters as well. I'll let you use your own discretion when it comes to how to apply this information. However, one of the things that I think people missed or forgot, or maybe didn't learn as well as I would have liked, is that going for squishies usually requires some form of setup. When we start off a team fight here, let me pull up Microsoft Paint here. When we start off a team fight, and I'm playing Winston here, a lot of times the enemy tank will be between the front line and the back line. If I want to be able to get onto that back line, I'm going to have to make some choices. I might either have to shoot the enemy tank to force him to back up, and in which case I can actually access the back line. I might do the thing where I set up on an off angle, I'll jump over here, and then I'll jump over here. And that's what you ought to be doing most of the time. But a lot of people do what I call cheating, where they see an engage or see a target they want to go, and they just go right through the teeth of the middle of the enemy team to the tank line, and with no off angle, with no cover, and they'll just jump right to the back line. Now, I still prefer this over focusing the tank, especially with many of the dive tanks. A lot of dive tanks have terrible tank matchups, and it's bad to focus front line. Generally want to avoid front line entirely. But it's generally better if you can set up. And what cheating is saying that I want to go for these targets. So instead of taking my time and setting up an off angle and using my CDs to get on a high ground and then a corner and then a flank and getting health and then going, right, setting up one stage at a time, they see squishy, they jump squishy, and it doesn't matter how far away or how team clumped up or how well protected those squishies are. And so while that might seem like a little bit of an esoteric, kind of a tricky concept to understand, I think that some of the footage that we're going to throw on in front of the screen in just a few minutes is going to elaborate on this concept. The key takeaway is this. If you're playing a dive tank, if you're playing a dive character really, your goal is to generally go for squishies or to go for their DPS or support really. But sometimes those DPS and support are positioned too far away, so diving cannot be as often, a two-step, three-step, or even a four-step process of setting up closer, using CDs and cover all along the way. And if you spend a lot of your time as a dive tank, Winston, D.Va, Doomfist, Genji, Tracer, and so on, just immediately going for the backline with no follow-up right through the middle of the enemy tank, you're going to have a really, really hard time. Now, I am going to go and give you one disclaimer, is that this is a tricky concept. This is not something that's going to be very easily applied the first time through. I highly recommend taking the time to self-review when you're trying to apply this concept. And if you have any additional questions or want any additional examples, please let me know in the comments. But I really encourage you to watch pro players. You can check out my Spilo 2 channel, look at all the Grandmaster tank VODs. I'll actually link a few, remind me in chat in the description if I don't. But I can link a few of those, and you'll actually check out the difference between the Winston, D.Va, and Doomfist, and look at how they set up. They don't just dive backline and have better mechanics. No, look at how they set up. Look at how they position accordingly. But as always, these advanced concepts are advanced concepts for a reason. So if there's anything that's not entirely clear, please let me know in the comments, and enjoy the rest of the video. I don't want to die ult. It forces lamp. It's fine. No complaints. This is no bueno, you know?
Yeah. Like, he'll either do nothing or swam the bop when he's not peeking, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, now that you have both CDs, right? Like, he's not looking here.
Yeah.
I mean, and the window's also going to expire in like 2 seconds anyway. 3, 2, 1, there it's gone. Like, now you're out. This guy cannot be here. Guy cannot be here. Because then you get him off, and then you use this staging ground to go on whoever or wherever you like. It's a similar issue as the Route 66, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Just lazy, you know? It's just lazy. Yeah. What should you do here?
Slam top left. Baptiste.
Slam top left. That's it. Just take the position. Take the position.
Like,
see what you go from there.
They're not there. It threatens them.
It's good for you. It's good for you. That's the thing. Is it's like you take this position here, and actually, what you should do from here. Well, okay. What you could do from here is you could do the exact same thing that you do here, which is focus the Mei. But imagine focusing the Mei from this position where you can actually punch her back in, right?
Yeah.
Instead of punching her away. You're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating. So here's your So by cheating, what I mean is you're trying to immediately skip steps to go to the backline, but you're sandwiching. You see it? So what should you do? Like look at it like a blackboard. You know, like you're going to school, right? So like, how do you set this up?
I need to go top. I need to go top.
You need to go top, or you see this Mei?
Yeah.
Wait, you could sit. You could sit here. And punch her this way, right? And just to contest her this way. And then, okay, as that Sigma walks forward, you then take top. You're gonna be dead. You're gonna be dead. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just then take top, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a common dive mistake for like lower rank Winsons, right?
Yeah.
Which is like you just want to get to the Ana, so just dive the Ana, you know.
But like clear steps, you got to stage first every time.
Right. Exactly.
This is cheating again.
Same thing.
Steps.
Yeah, you're skipping steps, right? You have all the map. Use it. You also are running Kiriko, which is even better, right? Take top right, rotate all the way around, freaking go all the way around here. You can do anywhere you want. Yeah, I mean, unironically, here's the funny thing. I would rather have you focus tank here than do what you just did.
Yeah.
I would rather have you punch bot, slam bot on main than for you to just try to skip steps to go for the backline.
Because it stages for it helps my Ana to stage and my
DPS
to rotate.
Exactly. It's like people like look at my videos and they're always talking about like don't shoot the tank, don't focus the tank, right? But unironically, if you have to set up for the tank, like you have to, or the backline, you have to take good angles. So if you're on main and you're trying to go for a backline, it's better to go for tank 9 times out of 10. That's the irony. It's like this, like you're getting shot. Like you focus backline from main, you end up having to deal with all of what the tank can throw at you, and you're in a worse position to go for backline. Yeah. So I would generally say just take the punch trade on Sigma if you can't stage, or stage.
Yeah.
By the way, you ready for this one? Check it out.
Contesting the Mei. I got a visa we went for him. Forced him out of this position. I said I'm fighting in a closed room against a bop with one.
Cheating again and you're dead.
Cheating again.
Yeah, and you're dead. Yeah. It was a well-timed engage. Go ahead.
Cheating is a good word. It'll keep me. It'll like this is like a good call.
Now, when should you cheat? When should you cheat? Because there's times when cheating is okay, right?
When we have ultimate.
Sure, right, exactly. If you have a Doomfist ult and you just want to go, now it's often still better to set up if you can, because it prevents them from being able to counter you. But if you want to like fast tempo, just use the ult, just go. You can cheat. Yeah, you could cheat. Good, huge value, right? Now he's off the angle, and not only is he off the angle, you're able to take this space, and now what can you do from the space?
I can stage.
You can stage, right? So now you can go up top, or you can go up top here, and then that forces them to rotate away, and it's you go from there. Do it. You know, it's funny. Okay, so this is the funny thing. You are not staging through the high ground, but what do you think of this engage? So first off, you have your ultimate, right? But also,
it's only.
Is this really cheating? Is this really cheating?
No, but it's not because I'm doing the correct thing. It's because they're all stacked in main. None of them are taking aggron.
The other thing too is, remember when we're talking about cheating, what makes cheating bad? Why do you need to set up?
Because I get sandwiched.
Right. Are you getting sandwiched right now?
No, really, because they're walking into my front line.
No, right. So if this Sigma Mei were like here, you might have been sandwiched, right? But because their positioning sucks, you just take a free engage in backline. It's kind of hard to it's hard to draw this up for like lower mid-rank players, right? You just have to know it when you see it. But yeah, this is a totally free engage. I mean, and you can tell it's free because look at your HP.
Yeah, and like you can tell it by how the Mei and the Sig just crossed the whole choke to run into my team with Mei.
Right. So they're the ones. That's the funny thing is they're cheating, and so you don't have, and so you can cheat safely, right?
Back to a neutral position.
So it's back to neutral positions exactly, and so this is like a totally free engage. Do whatever you want. Now, this is what we talked about earlier, where you can either stage from top and contest backline, But there's also nothing really wrong with just shooting frontline here.
Yeah, unlike punching Sig out of his cooldowns as he wants to touch the point.
Yeah, so you're playing the front line properly there, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to frontline trade as Doomfist, you want to make sure you're doing it properly.
Yeah. Like punch out the two major Sig cooldowns.
Yeah.
Grasp, he procs.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's always a positive cooldown trade.
And remember, the frontline trade is always more attractive when there's nobody here and there's nobody here, right? Then you need to be contesting those angles. But if they're all stacked, Doomfist frontline is like one of the best in the game because you could just AoE slam 5 people, you know, or AoE punch 3 people and over and over and over again. So this is again where like you can frontline trade, right? No off angles from the enemy team. No really good off angles for you either. So just frontline trade. Slam, play the corner, block, punch, play the corner, block, you know.